Dr. Becky, can you explain this to, someone at home who doesn't understand this? Can you explain how does this start for people?
Well, there's three primary reasons. One is genetics. 84% of all hoarders have at least one first-degree relative that is also a hoarder.
Like Luann, you're saying your mom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My grandmother, too.
Your grandmother as well?
Still living.
Okay, so this goes way back.
Is it only the women?
No, I have
No, actually,
too.
it's even more prevalent in men.
Really?
Twice as prevalent in men, believe it or not.
So what else?
Also, trauma. People who hoard tend to have about 20% more trauma than the average person. You mentioned that you had a lot of loss, trauma and loss. So the genetic component's already there, and then they have trauma and loss that sets it off and exacerbates it so that it actually gets worse over time. It's definitely a progressive illness, so it's so good that you're catching it now. And then the third trigger is usually anxiety and depression. It's considered an anxiety disorder, but depression is the most prevalent comorbid disorder that goes along with it. So that, like you were saying, you just didn't have enough energy to actually tackle it, and it's overwhelming. So
What's the first step that Becky can take? Yeah.
And the first step is definitely to be able to get help. If you recognize that it is an issue, that you actually get the help you need. And if you're depressed or anxious, you do need to treat that first, otherwise it's going to be really hard. And then start moving through and tackling the items and desensitizing yourself to letting go, because you've got such an attachment to those things, and you've got to practice letting go.
Is there one, like, do you pick a room? Do you pick a type of item? Do you say, let's get the garbage out? I mean, what's like a good place for her to start, for anybody to start if they feel like, oh, this room's getting...
Generally, it's best to go with a hierarchy, so what's easiest, start there.
Luann, you brought some items. Can we put them out?
Yes, they're right here.
Oh, okay, great. So, let's see.
Are they familiar friends?
Okay. I'm going to kind of pull them back a little.
No, because there's an emotion and memory attached to everything.
Okay, so I'm just going to get an idea. I like to get an idea where their attachment is. And we're going to see what the attachment is, because sometimes it's sentimentality, sometimes it's waste and responsibility that you don't want, like that lampshade, you didn't want anybody else.
A lot of mine is waste.
Okay.
I don't want to throw things away because I think there's still a use for them. And I might need them someday, and I've been at a point in my life where I've needed something and couldn't get it or afford to get it, or and so when you get something, you hang on to it just in case you need it.
And so it's that what if I need it for future? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so let's just kind of give an example here. It's interesting, a lot of people who collect containers just in case it will hold something in the future. Is that, anybody here collect containers? How full are they? Just something to think about. And then you got an old cell phone. Does this cell phone actually work?
I don't know.
No, Josh has no.
I'm sure it doesn't.
Okay. If this is a container also, or is this sentimental?
Josh gave me this box of candy for Valentine's last year, and I don't really care for candy, but I think he ate the candy out of it, and I kept the box because he gave it to me.
Okay. So just kind of getting an idea, what I like to do is rank it from 0 to 10, 10 being that you love it. And what I try to encourage people to do is only have items in their home that they love. Surround themselves with things that they love, not things that they think they might need at some point.
And I think that's part of what got me to the point to ask for help, is because I don't even really know where some of the things are that I know that I care about.
Exactly.
So I would like to, I would like to have my things where I could enjoy the things that I care about.
And it's so huge that you're asking for help now. I mean, that's a big step, because a lot of people don't ask for help. They wait till somebody else wants to
You don't want to
intervene.
ask for help. You don't want people. You don't want people to know that you live like this.
What are the tears about? What's the fear in asking people to, or letting people know?
Shame. You're ashamed that you live like that. And then too, it's also that, like he doesn't even want to come home for a visit.
So that's one thing that I like to do too, is kind of, what's more important, the container of something that gave you?
Him.
Or him? So if you look at these items, like this one, how much do you love it? From 0 to 10, 10 being you love it and you really, really want to keep it around you.
Right now it's a 0.
Okay, that's great.
6 months ago it might have been an 8.
Okay, so that's wonderful.
That's huge. That's great.
So I'm gonna actually get, yeah.
That's a big step. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to have more when we come back.
I'm going to take this and move it over.
Hey, we're here with Luann, who's admits that she's a hoarder, her son Josh, and Dr. Becky. Luann, are you able to part with any of the items on that table?
I can now.
Yeah?
All of them? What are you looking at that you want
The
to
butterflies.
You want to hang on to the butterflies?
I like the butterfly. I'll collect butterflies.
Okay.
Okay.
So I have an idea, though. You've got 2 of them. Would you be willing to let go of one?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
And you're willing to let go of all these other things?
That's right.
You know, I asked Luann during the break, I said, well, how did you end up here? She said, I actually wrote in and told them I needed help. So that is amazing. That's like a huge, huge commitment, and to have them come to your house and stuff. So that's really, you should be, I mean, look at how far you've come in just a short period of time.
Well, and we know this is a huge undertaking. This is not something that can be solved in one day. So we want to get you the help that you need. A professional organizer named Christy Gamble from Consider It Done. She's offered to help. She's going to help you with that. Also, Dr. Rebecca Jones from Psychiatry South is going to work with you because this is an ongoing process. And we're going to continue to follow up with you. And we wish you the best and wish you strength.